Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we'll be taking you on a journey into the fascinating life in Vietnam, a country where love, lust, and secrets intertwine beneath the surface of its vibrant culture. From the bustling streets of Hanoi to the quiet villages of the countryside, we'll explore how human relationships and traditions shape this captivating nation. Get ready to dive into exciting stories and unexpected aspects that make Vietnam such an intriguing place. Like, subscribe, and share. Let's begin this adventure together. Vietnam is a fascinating country that has transcended a tumultuous history and emerged as a vibrant nation, rich in culture, diversity, and natural beauty. Its landscape is mingled with the traces of ancient empires, the scars of devastating wars, and an unwavering resilience that has allowed this Southeast Asian country to be reborn and thrive today. Vietnam's history dates back thousands of years before Christ, when the area was inhabited by various tribes and civilizations. However, it was from 2000 BC that the first traces of more complex civilizations emerged, such as the Kingdom of Vân Lang, ruled by the mythical Hung kings. Over the centuries, Vietnam experienced several waves of foreign invasions, which shaped its national identity and deep sense of independence. One of the first significant influences was Chinese domination, which lasted for more than 1,000 years, from 111 BC to 938 AD. During this period, Vietnam adopted many Chinese customs and techniques, but also cultivated a deep sense of resistance, culminating in its victory at the Battle of Bac Giang in the 10th century, allowing Vietnam to become independent from Chinese rule. The next chapter in Vietnam's history was the southward expansion, known as the Southern Expansion Process, or Nam Tien, which led to the country incorporating large portions of territories inhabited by Cham people, indigenous people, and other ethnic groups. However, the country's stability would be disrupted by the French invasion in the 19th century. Vietnam became a colony of the French Empire in 1887, which had a profound impact on the country's culture, economy, and institutions. The 20th century witnessed some of the most significant events in Vietnam's history, beginning with the fight for independence from French colonizers, culminating in 2008, the famous Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954. This triumph of Vietnamese forces, led by revolutionary leader Ho Chi Minh, forced France to relinquish control of its colony. However, victory was only a prelude to the Vietnam War, a devastating conflict that pitted North Vietnam, backed by the Soviet Union and China, against South Vietnam, supported by the United States. The Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975, was a brutal conflict that caused the deaths of millions of people and left deep scars on the nation. Although the South Vietnamese government was eventually defeated and the country was reunited under the communist leadership of Hanoi, the war left a legacy of trauma, destruction, and division in both the population and the country's infrastructure. The impact of the war is still visible in many parts of Vietnam, and the readjustment to peace was a long and painful process. Following reunification, Vietnam went through years of isolation and economic hardship due to its centralized socialist politics. Beginning in the 1980s, however, the country began to open up to the global market and adopted a series of economic reforms known as Doi Moi, renovation. This shift allowed Vietnam to experience impressive economic growth, becoming one of the most dynamic countries in Asia. Today, Vietnam is a rapidly developing economy driven by sectors such as manufacturing, technology, agriculture, and tourism. Major cities such as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon, are centers of commerce and culture, while the country remains one of the fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia. Internationally, Vietnam has gained importance on the global stage. It has been a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and the World Trade Organization, WTO, and its diplomatic relations with countries such as the United States and China have become more strategic as the country becomes a key player in regional politics and economics. Vietnamese culture is the result of a rich mix of local and foreign influences. At its core, it is a culture deeply connected to nature, family, and community. Vietnamese cuisine, renowned for its fresh and balanced flavors, is one of the most representative aspects of its culture. Dishes such as piao, a noodle soup, banh mi, a Vietnamese baguette sandwich, and goi quan, spring rolls, are known and loved around the world. Religion in Vietnam is equally diverse. Although Buddhism is the most widely practiced religion, the country also has a significant Christian population and followers of indigenous religions such as Taoism and Confucianism. Religious syncretism is common in Vietnam, with many people combining Buddhist, Taoist, and animist beliefs in their daily spiritual practices. Vietnam is a society deeply influenced by its traditional values, where family, respect, and modesty play a central role. In big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, attitudes towards love and romance have slowly changed, driven by globalization and the influence of foreign cultures. Younger generations are more open to exploring their desires, but still face the restrictions of a society that often values conformity. Wait a minute. If you're enjoying our exploration of life in Vietnam and are intrigued by how love, lust, and secrets intertwine in this rich culture, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support encourages us to continue sharing more fascinating stories. Let's continue to discover together what lies beneath the surface of this amazing country. Vietnam is also a society that has undergone rapid changes in recent years. While older generations hold a conservative view on love and lust, young Vietnamese people, especially those living in cities, have become more open and uninhibited. However, as in many societies, expectations and secrets linger beneath the surface. Vietnam is at a historic crossroads. Economically, it remains one of the fastest growing countries in Asia, but modernization is reaching its people and institutions more quickly than ever. Vietnamese youth are increasingly connected to the global world, influencing everything from fashion to interpersonal relationships. Vietnam is a country that looks to the future, but without losing sight of its core traditions and values. Ultimately, Vietnam remains a resilient nation, where tensions between past and present, between tradition and modernity, continue to set the pace for its evolution. Secrets, loves, and passions hidden beneath the surface are part of this complex cultural landscape, and although Vietnamese society remains deeply conservative in many ways, the dynamism of large cities and the connection to the rest of the world are promoting an unprecedented openness. As Vietnam moves into the 21st century, the country is facing new challenges and opportunities. Its rapid economic growth and increasing role in the global economy have placed it as one of the most promising nations in Southeast Asia. The transition to a market economy model without abandoning its socialist political system has allowed Vietnam to be an example of change and adaptation. Foreign investments, especially in sectors such as technology, manufacturing, and tourism, are driving the country's economy. Vietnam has become a key destination for global investors, especially due to its strategic location in Asia and its young and skilled workforce. In addition, the country has taken advantage of its rich culture to attract tourists from around the world. Politically, communist leadership remains strong, but there is also an evolution in the way internal affairs and foreign relations are handled. The gradual opening of the country has allowed greater influence from international organizations and facilitated the establishment of new alliances, both in the economic and diplomatic spheres. Vietnam's young generation is facing a completely different global context than their parents and grandparents. While previous generations grew up in a more controlled and uniformed society, today's youth have access to the internet, are more aware of human rights, and are increasingly connected to global trends. Vietnamese youth culture is a melting pot of modern and traditional influences. In music, for example, Vietnamese pop music, V-pop, has gained widespread popularity, with young singers and groups combining Western styles with Vietnamese melodies. At the same time, young people are also reviving and adapting local traditions. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventures. Leave us a comment telling us what your favorite part was. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and until next time, see you